Ashley,
Yes.
do you remember like a decade ago when I asked if you wanted to talk about Anne Rice or if anybody wanted to talk about Anne Rice?
wanted
You'd
to
be like,
talk about
it's
Anne
me,
Rice.
it's me.
It's literally is how I responded.
You did not know what you signed up for, ma'am. Let's talk about scheduling for this little hobby of ours.
Yeah. This little side hustle.
Okay, this week, today, you're going to hear us talk about After Dark, After New York, the after show for the Vampire Lestat. Very soon this weekend, our patrons will get the episode discussing Montreal,
Holy
episode
shit.
6 of the Vampire Lestat on July 19th. And all of these dates will be for patrons. The regular YouTube and podcast will be one day behind. TVL episode 7 on July 19th.
Holy shit.
Feedback episode. So we'll wrap up the season on July 19th. Then we'll do a feedback episode from all of you. We'll try to get feedback from the whole season because there's a bunch that we haven't gotten to because of the timing of our recordings. But specifically, if you've got things to say about the season overall, that's the opportunity. That's going to be on July 26th. We're going to do a rankings episode on August 2nd. TVL and IWTV rankings on August 2nd. We're going to rank every episode of the show. Now,
Tier rank.
We had talked about tier listing, but I got to tell you something, Ashley. I think we just need to line them up.
Okay.
Genuinely, no, there's not an episode in the so far anyway. Maybe episode 7 will be so terrible that you and I would make it.
Right.
I hate you the worst or whatever. Who even is he? I don't know. But
yeah,
there's
that's
not
very
an episode.
True.
They're all going to be S tier, A tier, B tier, or whatever we call those, right? They're all going to be top of the list.
Right.
There are some that we love more, some that we love less, but they're all very, very good television. I think the harder and the more interesting conversations would be
rankle.
Which one is our and again, it's not even in this case. It is very subjective. This would be favorites, right? This would be what means the most to us, what affects us the most, what part of the stories do we most align with, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's the more interesting conversation. It'll be harder, but we don't have to do homework. We just have to show up with the feels.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then on August 9th, we're going to release an Articulate Coven AMA episode, an Ask Me Anything episode. We had a couple of people in our chat group ask for this specifically, and I was like, wait a minute. You telling me you're giving me permission to do another episode where we don't do homework?
We don't have to do homework? We just show up? How dare you?
Yes is the answer. We'll do that. The original unofficial fan podcast for Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles and the Lives of the Mayfair Witches. Welcome to the Coven, you butterscotch bitches.
You butterscotch bitches.
So here's the play. I'm going to make posts this week for patrons in groups. I'm going to post to our Those Who Must Be Kept and our what are the Children of the Millennia first, and then I'm going to make a second post to our makers and then a post to our fledglings so the patrons can ask their questions. We'll put those on the hopper. But we're going to do, and we haven't done this in a while, we're going to do an actual live stream for that this weekend. I'm not sure about the timing. Ashley and I'll work it out, but we'll do an actual live stream sometime the weekend of, that's August. When did I say? Where is it? AMA, find it, Joel. August 9th, the weekend of the August 9th sometime. And I think like Saturday afternoons are probably easiest for you and me.
Yeah.
But also, I know that makes it more difficult sometimes for like folks overseas. But the vast majority of our audience is in America, and that would make it pretty easy for even the West Coast. It would be a decent time in the morning, and the East Coast it'd be late afternoon, so you wouldn't have your dinner plans or whatever. I think it's probably going to be Saturday afternoon, but we'll lock that down soon. Patrons, watch out for questions. If you want to get your question in early, then go and do that there. But
early
everybody,
and
ad-free. That's right. Go to Patreon and check it out. But everybody will get access to our live stream where we actually answer the questions and talk about it. So that'll be on YouTube. And that will be the end for at least a little while of new Articulate Coven stuff. On this feed, you're going to then get our episodes of Afterlife, our patron exclusive, where we've been covering Castle Rock. There's 20 episodes of that. You'll get both seasons. We cover really good show, Stephen King influenced stuff. And I mean, not just influenced, it's adapted from his works. So if you're a fan of Needful Things, if you're a fan of Misery, if you're a fan of, I don't know, The Dark
Anything.
Tower, there's lots of stuff in there for all of you.
Yeah.
All of the Derry stories are at least discussed. I say the Derry stories, the Castle Rock stories are all
Castle
discussed.
Rock.
Derry is mentioned, I think, a couple of times. What will we do, though, if we're not doing Articulate Coven new episodes week to week? We will do Flan again.
We're going to do Flanagan again.
Flan again.
Flanagan again.
Somebody said, this was months ago now, but somebody commented on a short that got posted, and Flan never again. And it broke my heart. I said, no, Flan will again. I promise someday.
Flan will again.
August 16th, Flan again, The Life of Chuck is going to be our first one. Then we're going to do August 23rd. We'll talk about Dr. Sleep. And then August 30th, we're going to do The Haunting of Hill House week by week, just like we did Midnight Mass, just like we did Fall of the House of Usher. So that's where this show is going, the main show. For patrons, here's a little preview for you as well. This week, Ashley, did you have a good time this week for our Afterlife?
I had such a fucking good time.
Right.
That was the entirety of my personality for about a year. It came out in 96. I was the prime audience for this film.
I mean, it's not the reason why Ashley and I are theater kids. It's as much, genuinely, I think Romeo and Juliet is what I'm talking about. R&J from Baz Luhrmann and William Shakespeare. I think it is as integral to who we are and who we became, who we tried to become, as Anne's work was, honestly, in some ways. This movie is very influential to the two of us and much of our generation, I think.
Yes. Good stuff.
So we're starting with Romeo and Juliet. I think we had the most feelings about Romeo and Juliet, but I know you in particular also have a very warm spot for Strictly Ballroom.
I do. It's so wonderful. Jessica, our buddy Jessica Hester, made me watch that when we were in college, and I was like, this is bonkers in the best way possible. And it is wild. It's just a wild ass movie. I love it. We're going to have so much fun talking about that.
So this weekend, we're talking about R&J. Next weekend, we're going to talk about Strictly Ballroom. And what do you do after those two? Well, it's Moulin fucking Rouge, isn't it?
Moulin fucking Rouge, kids.
July 26th, we're going to talk about Moulin Rouge in our Afterlife segment. And then what do you pair with those three? To Wong Fu, thanks for everything. Julie
Of course,
Newmar.
which I'm so excited to watch again. I love that movie so much.
I also adore that movie for many reasons. So that's going to be on August 2nd for patrons in our Afterlife segment. And then I was looking at the schedule and I was like, we're going to do this AMA thing they want us to do. That pushes out another week. I'd rather start Widow's Bay as our next series that we're going to talk about for Afterlife. I'd rather start that at the same time that we start Flan again. What else could we do for Afterlife? Ashley, what do you think about Priscilla, Queen of the Desert?
Holy shit. That'll be fun.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah, not in a very long time, but hell yes.
Me neither. Okay, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I definitely saw it before I saw Tu Wong Fu, and I'm fairly certain I saw it before I saw The Birdcage. Maybe The Birdcage would have been my first exposure to gay cinema, so to speak. But Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, I watched it with the music director at the time. He later became the executive director of my community theater, who was a closeted gay man.
Oh.
But yeah, and that movie just broke my mind in a way. I mean, and Rocky Horror would later be landed on more fertile soil because I had seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, right? So anyway, I thought if we're doing this little run, let's do it up.
Let's do it.
So what did these movies have to do with a show that's ostensibly about Anne Rice and vampires? If you've watched The Vampire Lestat, I think you know what the Baz Luhrmann films have to do with this show about vampires.
Theatricality.
The editing of Romeo and Juliet was so similar to what we're seeing in The Vampire Lestat this year, honestly. I was like, oh shit, they cribbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I know there are scenes like that in Moulin Rouge, especially. So that's part of it. But then something happened. I saw a clip of Harold Perrineau dancing on the staircase in R&J. And I was just like, God, that movie meant so much. And then I got to think about John Leguizamo, and I asked our patrons, I was like, do you want to do a Baz Luhrmann trilogy or a John Leguizamo trilogy? Anyway, this is what we're doing.
This is what we're
It's
doing.
our fucking show.
It's our show. We're going to talk about some movies we like.
So, folks, articulatecoven.com/join. Go sign up for all of that and you'll get it. We're going to do Widow's Bay starting on August 16th. That's
So
like
excited.
a 10-episode season. There'll be a second season of that eventually, but just the first season's out right now. And then we'll do Hemlock Grove once we finish that. Now, Hemlock Grove is like, I think it's 3 seasons long, and I think they're all 13 episodes too, because they were Netflix shows originally. So I think that was back when everything was 13. Do you remember a nostalgia for a 13-episode season?
13-episode season? I don't know. 7 really seems like fuckery at this point.
Okay. We are the Articulate Coven. I am Joel.
Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. Okay. Ashley, a couple things we missed in the last episode after New York. You said it. You said, I think Lestat said Amel.
He did.
Lots of folks gave us this.
Yep.
At the very beginning of the episode, honestly. It's
But I, Amel, digress.
I, Amel, digress.
That's where I heard it.
So they're talking about the album, my posthumously released album, which Pitchfork panned, blah, blah, blah. And the line is, the world disregarded clearly attributable devastation, j'accuse, but I, Amel, digress. Okay. Sounds like, first of all, the implication there is that is not Lestat speaking, although it is Lestat's voice to the recorder, that Amel, who is Amel? Have we heard about Amel before? The Queen discussed Amel, I believe.
Yes.
Why Amel in their mouths? But I, Amel, digress. At the end of this discussion, and for those that are not book readers, Ashley and I will discuss what we think that means precisely, but clearly attributable devastation, the way that it comes up, this is whoever Amel is speaking through Lestat says, hey, all the shit that went down after this album came out, everybody just disregarded that it was me that caused that. I absolutely did all of that. And everybody disregarded. He's mad because they didn't put his name in the headlines.
Give me my credit, bitches. I would like my liner note. Thank you.
Okay, so many people sent me this, and I hesitate to give any one person credit because I will forget someone. And several people, I think, actually transcribed it separately, but many people copied other people's transcription.
Yes.
I'm going to run through the whole thing, or I say the whole thing. I think there were 7 pages of dialogue. We're not going to do that. But this is a lot, and it's more than Ashley and I got last week. The Queen says the following. Her arms must always be open. And in the old laws and the old ways, this was all arranged. And who arranged it? Did Amel? It is Amel. It is always Amel. It is often she. Into the land where the dead are kept, where the dead are worshipped. What am I for? What is this for, and what is Amel to do with it, if not answer? Why are we throwing stones, and why is she curled on the ground, and why is it curled round her neck? And in my eyes is desire, and why is it desire? And why does he tell her what God has said? And why Amel in their mouths? And why is my voice so smooth? And why must I sing so low? And why is she kept? Why must she be kept? And why in this place must she be kept? And what does it mean if you are not asked? And what does it mean if you are not answered? And what is it to see and to know, but to be told you have not seen and you have not known? And why is her tongue cut out? And why is her death prolonged? I am the girl, and I am the God, and I am the voice, and I am the song, and I can arrange it, and I can say rise, and I can say speak, and I am the answer. Fuck, it's powerful without any delivery, right? Like, what a monologue.
I mean, well, yeah, it's just, I mean, all I wanted the whole time I was watching it was the fucking closed captioning. I was like, please give me subtitles. I need to know exactly what she's saying.
And
it was
to be fair,
so brilliant. Her delivery is just I
Okay.
mean, my God.
Can I tell you? I want to be. This is petty and vulnerable in a way that I rarely am on the show in public, y'all. But I'm going to be it. Ashley and I have talked about it before. We don't watch a lot of other people's content. We don't want to steal anybody's ideas or thought processes. And also,
Yeah.
like, who has the fucking time? We this week we watched 3 different things. Anyway, for this show,
Like, you're not even counting like what you do for
yeah. I have a job. I edit other people. Anyway, yeah, you have a full-time job too. Okay, but we don't watch a lot of other people's content. And I don't, as a general rule, like, I'm like, hey, I'm glad so many people are making content and being successful too, finding audiences. I found myself this week intensely jealous of Autumn Bottom Brown. She has been doing I'm going to tell you about it here in case you don't know about it. She's been doing a great series of videos every week. I can't remember what they're called, but if you search for her on YouTube, you can find them.
amazing.
She's been doing videos like, I think they come out on Mondays. I don't know, maybe they're even moving around because of her release schedule. But regardless, every week she's got a new interview with someone from the show. She interviewed the cast. She interviewed a bunch of the writers one week. She interviewed I think she's interviewed most of the main stars. This week, though, she had Sheila Atem on the show. And the promo that I saw was she and Sheila doing jokes. And she's like, oh, hey, how did you get here? You generally need a pass. Do you want to come in? You need a password to get in. And she goes, I am the password. Anyway, I haven't seen the video yet. I don't think it's even out yet as we're recording this, but I was immediately jealous. She's talked with Sam and I wasn't this jealous for whatever reason. I was like, the queen, my queen.
I mean, Lord, that casting, holy shit.
I mean, y'all, they keep doing it. I don't know why we're ever surprised. We should just go, well, of course the casting is impeccable.
Of course it was brilliant. Of course that she was the perfect choice. Of course.
Okay, great feedback from Kayla Schneider. Kayla, you were killing it, by the way. Every week you're bringing some piece of gold. This
some
one,
thunder.
Though, so I'm honestly surprised that you and I, neither one noticed it. Thomas Pitt is the name of Louis' pseudonym or whatever that he's doing business as, and in Lestat's phone, Thomas Pitt, he's a whore, is the name of his like contact card or whatever. We were like, oh, that's funny. No, it's a David Bowie reference. On David's last album, Black Star, he included a final version of a demo song, "'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore," originally released as a B-side to his single "Sue" or "In a Season of Crime." The title takes inspiration from a play of the same name written in 1629 about sibling incest, love, and revenge. Seeing this play on words was a delightful giggle on its own, but catching the reference made it much more rich. The lyrics also seemingly fit in their own abstract way. This would have been an excellent Vampire Lestat cover. Okay, let me read you these lyrics. Man, 'tis a pity she was a whore. That's the name of the song. Man, she punched me like a dude. Hold your mad hands, I cried. 'Tis a pity she was a whore. 'Tis my curse, I suppose. That was patrol, that was patrol. This is the war. Black struck the kiss. She kept my cock. Smote the mistress. Drifting on, 'tis a pity she was a whore. She stole my purse with rattling speed. That was patrol, this is a war. 'Tis a pity she was a whore. Okay, just, man, she punched me like a dude. First of all, they literally had a brawl, he and Lestat and Louis. And also, it's fitting that Lestat would be like, I mean, he is just a fledgling vampire. He does not have the blood of Akasha in him. And yet, he does throw a pretty mean fucking punch.
Hilarious.
Black struck the kiss. She kept my cock. Smote the mistress? Like they talked about it. Anyway, okay. Just fucking fascinating. The levels of this playwright writing room. I mean, it's just full of playwrights. And that's why we're getting these insane literary references. And even when I disagree with some of their creative choices, I am astounded by the artistry.
Yes.
Astounded. Okay, also a teaser for next episode. That trailer looks insane, y'all. Reunion for Louis and Lestat, sure seems like. Louis needs someone to fill his Regina-sized hole, perhaps. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there soon.
My.
Oh, an update. Okay, so there was a backstage pass last week. It just wasn't served for everyone. I saw a couple of other people say they experienced the same thing that I did.
Watched it. I was really confused.
So you got it. I think I even went back to test it and it was there again. It's also on YouTube. In case you were like me and you missed it, you could just go search for it and find it directly. So it's up there. You can go watch it and break down that song or these songs from last week. Okay, this week, you get Jacob. And he begins to describe this off-Broadway Marlen, which I thought that was a funny way to describe
it. Fraudia and off-Broadway Marlen. Oh my God.
Okay. The way that Jacob was talking about this, though, at first, I was like, oh, wow. Ashley and I were both appalled about the whole scene. And you're like, jokesy, it's so funny. Then it became clear to me AMC was editing it this way. AMC is making the decision to make this a little funny start to their after the show thing. I was like, oh, that's okay, AMC. But in the actual After Dark episode, Jacob gets deeper into this and we realize he felt basically the same way that we did about it, honestly.
Yeah, very icky.
Yeah. Okay, Sam says that Lestat is no longer trying to present himself. He's just being himself in his music. That's the shift, as the way that he describes it. Ashley, we really are getting a lot of music. They're going to put out a whole album that isn't what we've gotten so far, mostly.
Here's another thing. I recorded every single song that he sang at the One Night Only event.
At the live event, yeah.
Yeah, and because there was a ton of stuff that was new to the audience, like a ton of stuff we hadn't heard. So I was like, I've got to go back and rewatch my videos. I know he sang Brutal Love. Yeah. And it was amazing. I'm like, what else did he sing that I haven't, like, that I didn't know at the time that, like, I'm going back and watching those videos. I'll try to post them. They're just long and the computer hates it when I try to, like, upload them for some reason.
It's so interesting, too, in retrospect, because it's a called shot. Like, they told us they were going to do this effectively. Like, at some point, there was even a reference to, you've heard the songs, but you haven't heard the album versions or something like that. And you're like, oh, no, he meant it. They're really, it's not remixes. It's not like a slightly different cut or recording. It's like, they rewrote these songs effectively in this transition from for our ears to for their ears or whatever. Yeah. Really cool stuff. All right. Man, when they announced that the band and Sheila were all going to be on the After Dark, I was like, why are there 15 people on every episode of this? Like, you could rotate it a little bit.
Right. And I was like, how are they going to cram all this in? But they actually did a good job. They stayed on track this episode much better than they normally do. You know, they did not.
Mark only interjected once. Okay, I've seen several people say, why are Mark Johnson and Rollin Jones even on every episode of the After Dark? Like, that was not true on The Walking Dead, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, Kirkman was not on every episode, or freaking, I don't know if they even did Talking Dead when Darabont was running the show. I think it came the third season.
Yeah, it was later, for sure.
But still, the showrunner was not on every episode. The executive producer was definitely not on every episode. Y'all,
I think they must want to be there.
Not only do they want to be there, Ashley, I think maybe the reason this show exists is because Mark Johnson said, somebody told him, well, I mean, you could be on it, I guess. Yeah, Mark, you could be if you wanted to. He's like, excellent. Doing an after show. Great.
Let's do it.
Anyway, what I'm saying is,
I want to hang out with my vampire friends.
Y'all be nice to Mark. He's paying for some of this.
That's
so let's
right.
just.
That's right.
It's fine. It's fine. We love you, Mark.
We love you, Mark. Mwah.
Rollin again says that the fandom has a complicated relationship with Marius. And I mean, he's not wrong on that for sure, but he described the relationship with David in a very similar way, and I got real tight for a second. I was like, are they writing off Marius too? That's not what they're doing, though.
No.
He said specifically, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's exactly what I said. We are meeting Marius in this moment in time, and this is not necessarily Marius at his best.
The quote is, we have a long distance plan for what we want to do with Marius. He's been introduced this way into the show, and you should wait to see what we do with him. And I was like, okay, all right, you rat bastard, you got me again. All right.
Yeah. Wait and see, turns out, is the mantra of this season.
Oh, Marlen gave a little tidbit that I thought was so interesting. The two scenes with Fraudia, first of all, Marlen described them as horror. So he got that they're not, like, AMC may have decided to make a little funny joke with them in that little behind the scenes thing.
I mean, there is some moments of humor in there when she's like, when they're talking about like her work.
When
and
she
like,
breaks character.
When they break character, like there are a few funny moments in there, but no, I mean, the underlying just like, this is not the thing to fucking do, my man, is just too strong.
Like the first moment when they pull back the camera and you see the redhead sitting there speaking in a French accent and it clicks.
Whoa.
You almost can't help but nervous laugh, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's literally,
it's insane.
It's like the laugh at a funeral when someone says your terrible uncle was a saint and is surely in heaven today. And you're like, that bastard, it's that sort of laugh. You don't want it. It's not from happiness anyway.
Yeah. An awkward
oh
giggle.
Goodness. But he said horror. He also said, though, that the two scenes were originally rotated. They had he originally thought that the fraudulent moment would be the thing that was like, okay, Louis knows now he's gone too far and he'll have to go ask Lestat for help out of this.
Right.
But in fact, when they shot it and he was seeing it, he said the moment when he froze Fraudia and touched her hand while she was frozen, that was the worst. And I was like, God damn it, Marlen. I genuinely, when he speaks, when I hear him talk about the show and these characters, we're vibing on such, I'm like, you're listening to us, aren't you, Marlen?
Well, like 3 weeks ago, Joel, you were having a mental breakdown.
Really did. Somebody in the comments said, Joel, you're making me so bummed. Sorry.
We will not. This is not a show we will hate watch. I guarantee. I promise.
I really cannot wait a month from now, 2 months from now, whatever. When I revisit this season, how will I feel when we get to the wolf scene, knowing what the full story was? I don't know. I think I'll still probably be mad that we haven't gotten it yet.
You will. You're going to be pissed about that for eternity, and that's okay. You get to be.
Somebody commented on I posted a short the other day about how perfect Sam is and how much he understands the character of Lestat. And someone commented on, it's one of the few times that I don't like a comment under our posts, but this person said, I hope they never adapt her works again. This is so perfect or something. First of all, Ashley and I adore this universe and this show. Even this season, which I've been like, what are they doing? It's fantastic TV. I'm so glad it's been made. No equivocation. However, don't say you don't want another adaptation, friend. I want them to run this shit back every 10 years, baby.
Right.
Bring it back. I've already said, I thought about it the other day. Make Jacob Inkle in the next version in 15 or 20 years. Make Sam Marius or Magnus or whatever, right? Yeah, like bring it back, run it back. Yes, bring ties into this version, but like tell this story again and again and again. Let creatives take a swing at this. I am not so precious. I'm listening to the Count of Monte Cristo right now. It's like a 56-hour audiobook, by the way. It's
I'm listening to The
fucking
Stand.
fantastic.
What are we doing to
I
ourselves?
don't know. Ashley, we keep talking about how much homework we have. Why are we listening to 60-hour
Also,
audiobooks?
voluntarily listening to 60-hour audiobooks unrelated to our podcast.
I think we need to talk to our therapists about sadomasochism. Anyway, Count of Monte Cristo. Okay, in my to-watch list right now, there is a French adaptation from like 3 years ago in films, like 3-hour version, which I'm super excited about. Got good reviews. I've got the Jim Caviezel version from whatever, like the 2000s, the 2010s. It's great too. And AMC has a TV version. I noticed the other day in streaming. I added it to my watch list. It's like 8 or 9 episodes, I think, where they do the whole story. All of them will be glorious. I will enjoy every single one of them in different ways when I see them. The different creators will have told various pieces of the story in a more direct way, because that's the part that's sung to them. Someday, someone will tell this story, and I will get my fucking wolf fight. I might not be alive to see it.
We'll fight the movie, and it will be everything you ever wanted.
Yes. Anyway, it can live in my head until then, and it's all fine. Marius, though. Marius is coming. They got a plan for Marius. That was where we started.
Yes.
Okay. Marlen, let's stick on him for a second, because he also said this. This is not my strongest part, the vampire lore. Okay. I saw a lot of people take that out of context, and they're like, this guy shouldn't be writing this show because he doesn't Have you not been watching this show? He does understand the lore. What he means is he's not great at writing the lore in a way that is interesting in a TV show. He doesn't want to do exposition dumps. And without doing an exposition dump, sometimes describing the inner workings of the vampiric mythos is a difficult task for him. It's one of the reasons why you have a room full of writers, not just one guy alone, right? But they described a silver umbilical cord that connects all of them in a way. They haven't actually figured that out yet. And I was just like, don't understand the lore? Yes, you fucking do. You understand it perfectly. You could have just written that, by the way. But anyway, they're going a place with this that I think we're going to be very, very satisfied with. I'm still worried about my twins. That monologue. None of the versions of the monologue that I saw transcribed included twins.
No,
I thought I heard it and I didn't see it.
No, but I think that we get that tongue reference.
I think we're going to get one. That's my point. I think we're going to lose the Great Family. Probably, right? Or they'll just connect the Great Family with the Mayfairs, which we have talked so many times that probably Anne should have done in the books. Honestly, it would have simplified things in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And also given more direct importance and value to the Mayfair's power being sourced through the altar. So you'd have the Queen of the Damned on one side and, a twin on the other. Anyway, I worry that we're not going to get our twins. There's a little slight book spoiler for you. Read the Queen of the Damned novel, y'all. It's fantastic.
It is. I'm due for a reread myself.
I was thinking that before we get season 3 or season 4, I guess we're going to have to do Queen of the Damned full read like we did TVL. We've done an episode on Queen of the Damned, the novel.
Did,
I don't think, but we didn't do a full breakdown though.
We haven't done a full breakdown of it.
Okay.
So we're probably due for that.
Okay. They're talking about Larry on the show, and one of them says, who is it? Jacob says it. You got to have a Ringo. Throws Mr. Starkey under the bus. I was like, aghast for a second. And then, Ashley, I felt real old because I realized that both Rollin and Mark had physically reacted to that comment on the set, and none of the rest of the actors did. And I was like, I'm not the age of these children playing these characters. I'm the age of those 2 old gray-haired men on the end of the couch.
Yeah, bummer, right? We might have gotten old somewhere along the way. As we record in the morning and my brain is not quite working yet.
Ringo Starr's a great drummer, though. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, I love Ringo. Ringo doesn't get enough love.
Okay. Marlen, I think, says, it's Armand. There's a 7-layer burrito reason why he thinks that will get into Lestat's head.
Yes.
There's probably missing pieces of information in that scene, though. So the subway scene in particular is what he's talking about there.
Fuck. Well, they were talking about Asad's performance in that and how still he was. And like they were like, did the screen freeze? Did this freeze? They're like, no, he's just a fucking freak.
What's funny is the way that Marlen was just describing his reaction in the moment before he realized he's just still acting. It was very similar to how Danielle responds when they're doing the playback of Lestat's telepathic message where he's just like stone faced to him. It's like, what happened? What happened to
what the fuck? What the fuck just
is the feed freeze? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, that's funny. Asad is doing in real life what Lestat's doing on screen. Okay, I don't know if you saw it. Salamander in the little Zoom screens is holding he's got a sign behind him.
Says Marlen is a werewolf.
Marlen Jones is a werewolf. I love that.
So silly.
Okay.
I loved getting to chat with the band. That was really fun. And I love that they took the time to let them like work together and become a band so that they got to come into this as like a cohesive unit, you know, and like, we were annoying everybody, but we're like, oh, we're all concentrating and working hard, and these fucking idiots over here, just the band acting like a band.
Okay, let's talk about though Sarah. Is it Sarah Plattner that plays TC? Sarah's her first name. I think I can't remember her last name. Sarah though that plays TC doesn't actually play the drum, or she didn't play the drums. She does now. The casting came down. They wanted her. They wanted Salamander, or they wanted Ryan that plays Sal. I think I was getting Ryan's last name is Katner. They wanted the two of them, but it was like, hey, which one of y'all could play drums? And they both tried.
Drums or bass. I like that
and
he
Ryan,
said he was like, my only goal was to be not as good as she was.
Worse than her. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, if they've cast both of us, I won't lose the job. I just won't have to play drums if I'm a little worse than she is. He was way worse, apparently. She's great at it and does it now. She can play the drums now for herself. Like,
added that to her repertoire.
Women getting shit done.
Won't we do it?
Okay. The band all said yes to vampirism in real life when they were like, vampirism in real life, yes or no? And everybody said yes, except for Noah Reed. Which was like, well, maybe there's a reason they wrote you off in the story.
Yeah.
Ryan, the host, says, I would work out more before I got turned.
That. When he's like, I went to my doctor for a physical after filming this, and he was like, what the fuck have you done to yourself?
What did you do to yourself? It was a job, Doc.
I was on a job, and it was in a vampire's fucking tour van.
Oh, by the way, the van was genuinely really gross. They all talked about someone genuinely put their hands down in beans on the couch. What? I don't know if I would ever recover from that.
There were beans everywhere. Why were there beans everywhere?
Ashley, I gotta tell you, let's say sliding doors, alternate universe style, that I had been cast as some extra on the vamp. I think I might have left if I put my hand down in beans. I got to live part of my dream now, and now I'm going to.
I'm done.
I'm going to run away from Hollywood.
Going to wash my hands of everything, including the beans.
All right, stay tuned. Our coverage of episode 6, Montreal, is coming up for patrons Sunday night, everybody else Monday nights on YouTube and the podcast apps wherever you find it. And don't forget, patrons get access to our coverage of the Red Curtain trilogy from Baz Luhrmann. We're going to talk about Tu Wong Fu. We're going to talk about Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and then we're going to be talking about Widow's Bay on Apple TV. Very, very cool island horror comedy.
I'm very excited.
We're gonna dig it.
I'm very excited. It's come highly recommended to me.
All right. Until the next time, we've been your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan Again, covering the works of Mike Flanagan.